Hi Year 4, I'm going to be doing science with you today, and we're going to start looking at classification keys. So we've been learning a lot about living things. We've been learning about animals and how we can categorise animals as either vertebrates or invertebrates. I'm just going to pause and see if you can remember what both of those are. Okay, so hopefully you remembered that a vertebrate is an animal that has a backbone and an invertebrate is an animal that doesn't have a backbone. Now, within the vertebrate category, there are 5 different types of animal. So there are mammals, fish, birds, amphibians, and reptiles. So today we're going to have a look at classification keys and see how these can help us when we're looking at different living creatures. So, classification keys are a way of identifying living things through a series of questions. For example, asking, does it have wings? Each question has a yes or no answer and leads you one step closer to the name of a living thing. So a very simple example here, does it have wings? If it does, yes, then your answer might be taken down to reveal that the living thing you are looking at is an owl. If it doesn't, you might have another question. For example, does it live underwater? If it does, it could be a type of fish. If it doesn't, it could be a different animal. The first question is always quite general because it needs to help sort the living things you are classifying. And then the questions will gradually get more specific as they separate living things that are more similar. So for example, to start off with, you would really need to be asking, is the living thing a plant or animal? But as you get further down through the classification key, and the living things get more similar, you would have to think of different questions that would help you tell them apart. So if you look at the 2 trees in the corner, they're very similar, they're both trees, so you might want to ask, does the tree have fruit? Yes or no, and then you would be able to tell what kind of tree you're looking at. So as you all know, I love being outside doing forest schools, and I actually use classification keys quite often to help me identify, first of all, different mini beasts that I might come across, and also different types of leaves, because I'm always finding leaves on the floor when I'm out and I can't identify them all. So I do use classification keys. So I've just got a simple one here, and I've got an example of some leaves that you might find in the park or in your garden. And imagine you've collected these leaves and we don't know what they're called, what tree they're from. So we're going to use this key to help us. So hopefully you can see my mouse moving, hovering over this leaf here in the top left corner. So I think we'll start with this leaf. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow the yes and no questions. So, is it dark green? Yes, it is. So we go this way. Does it comprise of small needles? Okay, so if we have a look at this leaf, it definitely isn't made of needles. It's just one nice round leaf. So I'm going to follow the no side. Does it have spiked edges? No, and this classification key is telling me that that is a bay leaf. So I've been able to identify that leaf using the classification key. So I want you to pause the video in a moment, and I'd like you to pick a different leaf from the picture and see if you can follow the yes/no questions and identify the name of the leaf that you're looking at. If you want to, you can pause the video for a bit longer and try and identify all of them. Okay, have a go. Right, so hopefully you've identified some or all of those leaves. I'm going to show you your task for today. So you're going to have 2 worksheets today uploaded in 2 separate portfolios. So make sure you get both of them. So worksheet 1 here on the left. first thing you're going to do, and I know this will be quite quick, but it's just to check that you can follow a simple classification key. So you've got some pictures of some living creatures down the side, a type of moth, a woodlouse, a snail, a spider, a worm and a butterfly. And I want you to start at the top of the key. Has the animal got legs? You can choose which way to go. Keep following the questions, and I know you're not going to be able to cut those pictures out, so if you want to, you can either do your own drawing or write the name of the creature where you think it belongs at the end of the key. So the second worksheet over at the right, this is for you to think of some questions yourself to try and identify some of the living animals, living creatures in this key. So the first question is done for you. It says, does it belong in water? And you can either go to no or yes. Now, if you go across to yes, you will see there's a space for another question to be asked. And the question that needs to go here needs to be a question that will help you identify either the frog or the fish. So you need to think of a question that helps you tell the difference between those two creatures. Okay, if we go, does it belong in the water, and we go to no, does it have wings, and we go to the yes, you'll see two creatures here. I know the picture's not very good on my laptop. You'll be able to see it better when you open the worksheet. But there's two birds here that actually, they have got similarities. They both have beaks, wings, feathers, two legs. So actually, if you said, does it have a beak? That wouldn't really be a helpful question because they both have beaks. So you need to really look at those two creatures and decide what's different about them, and make sure you're asking a yes or no question. And then you've got two more stems to do over here on the left. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing your work today, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.